Hey everyone, I hope you're having a great day. Here is part 2 of What If Dooku Never Left the Jedi Order. Here's a link to part 1 if you need to catch up. Also, be sure to stick to the very end, I mean the very end of the video for a twist. Now we all know that Count Dooku was mainly a placeholder for Sidious, until Anakin could take his place. He was the perfect figure to ignite the Clone Wars. But I think that if Dooku had never fallen to the dark side, he would have been even more important for the Jedi Order. In this version, he would be the perfect Jedi Master to investigate the Sith and also to train the Chosen One. While the Clone Wars raged on, Master Dooku and his apprentice Anakin Skywalker would devote their time to searching for Darth Sidious. Their investigation would lead them to investigate the identity of the man who had placed the Order of the Clones, which in this story is Darth Sidious. The sudden appearance of the Grand Army of the Republic would be concerning to the Jedi Order, and they would send Dooku to look into it. Being well versed in Coruscant's politics, Dooku would have a connection in the banking clan. Let's say it's Rush Clovis. Clovis would help narrow down the mystery of the man who ordered the clone army from the Kaminoans by helping Dooku uncover a money trail that led straight to the highest office of the Republic, the Chancellor's office. Dooku would eventually put the pieces together and realize that Chancellor Palpatine was most likely the Sith Lord, or at best, he was closely connected to Darth Sidious. Dooku would bring this evidence before the Jedi Council, who were mostly all present as this was happening much earlier in the war, and many of the Jedi like Yoda would not be spread across the galaxy quite yet. Many of the events surrounding Chancellor Palpatine would not change as well. The Jedi Council would be concerned by the amount of political power that Palpatine held. Palpatine would remain in office past his term limits, he would secure more emergency powers, and most importantly, the Jedi Council would continue to sense the dark side that surrounded the Chancellor. Now, I think if the prequels had not been governed by the outcome they had to have because of the original trilogy, I think the Jedi would have acted much faster on their distrust of Chancellor Palpatine. The Jedi would need to act carefully though, as they could not simply arrest Palpatine without any clear evidence. So they would send Master Dooku to spy on the Chancellor. Even as a Jedi, Palpatine would respect Dooku. Having met him on several occasions as a senator and chancellor, the two men would have a conversation much like Anakin and Palpatine did in Episode 3, where Anakin discovered Palpatine was the Sith Lord. Palpatine would suspect the Jedi were onto him and would look for every chance to manipulate Dooku. He would sense Dooku's frustrations with the Order and his desire to avenge Qui-Gon Jinn's death. This would be the basis for which Dooku could be turned. While Dooku met with Palpatine, Anakin waited behind at the Jedi Temple. He would be worried and even a little frustrated that he wasn't with his master. While contemplating what he could do to help, Anakin would be greeted by Qui-Gon Jinn, or the ghost of Qui-Gon Jinn. Qui-Gon would tell Anakin that he and Dooku were heading down a dark path by seeking revenge. He would continue by saying that should Palpatine turn out to be the Sith Lord, it must be Anakin that strikes him down, fulfilling the Chosen One prophecy. If Dooku were the one to kill Sidious, it would surely be his undoing as a Jedi. It would surely lead him down a path to the dark side. Anakin would understand what he had to do then. With Dooku as his master, Anakin would be more equipped to fight Palpatine than he would have been with Obi-Wan as his master. The most important change to this moment, though, is that Anakin is going to help Master Dooku confront Sidious, free of any attachment. Dooku had trained Anakin to manage his attachments and emotions rather than suppress them like most of the Jedi did. And speaking of Anakin's attachments, I don't think Anakin would have been reunited with Padme quite yet. The Council would have chosen Obi-Wan rather than Dooku to protect Padme during the attempts on her life. But that's not to say their paths wouldn't cross in the future. For now, Padme is not a weakness for Palpatine to exploit. Anakin would be powerful and level-headed, making him the chosen one he was meant to be. Anakin would arrive at the Chancellor's office to see Dooku and Palpatine already engaged in a lightsaber duel. At first glance, it would seem that Palpatine was unable to sway Dooku to the dark side, but in fact, getting Dooku to attack him in anger was exactly what the Sith Lord wanted. So Anakin would have to intervene and join his master. Jedi Master Dooku and Anakin Skywalker would be one of the few Jedi duos that could take on Sidious. Both were exceptionally skilled with the lightsaber, uniquely gifted in the Force, and Dooku's prowess in Form 2 would make his attacks quick and efficient. Dooku alone was quite the match for Sidious, as he was said to only be surpassed in skill by Yoda, and Mace Windu was considered his equal. Anakin would tip the scale in the favor of the Jedi by adding his own abilities. Now, here there's two possibilities for Anakin's lightsaber form. First, in the original timeline, Anakin was a master of Form 4, Ataru, which is known as the aggressive lightsaber form. If Anakin maintained this form in our story, it would certainly complement Dooku's more elegant fighting style. The other option is that Anakin adopts Form 2 from his master Dooku. It would make sense that he also became an expert in the elegant Form 2 as Dooku's Padawan. In the original timeline, Anakin would even become a master of Form 2, as it was better suited for the Vader suit. Either way, Anakin and Dooku would hold their own against Sidious quite well, but they would still struggle to actually overpower him. Eventually, the scale would become tipped in the Jedi's favor even more so as Master Yoda entered the office. Yoda had sensed that his former apprentice was in trouble, and with 3 generations of Jedi, Yoda, who trained Dooku, who trained Anakin, Sidious would quickly become overwhelmed. Before long, both Dooku and Yoda had each claimed one of Sidious's hands, and before Anakin could even recognize that Sidious was unarmed, he slashed his lightsaber at the Sith Lord's neck, ending the line of Sith once and for all. Without Sidious to control both sides of the war, peace would quickly return to the Republic, and it would begin to rebuild. Having brought balance to the Force, the Council would offer Anakin a seat on the Council, along with his friend Obi-Wan Kenobi. Dooku, however, would choose to go away for a while. During this time away, he would learn from his old apprentice Qui-Gon. Qui-Gon would teach Dooku how to become a Force ghost and many other things. Dooku would still have his frustrations with the Jedi, but he had seen the prophecy of the Chosen One be fulfilled and knew that with the Sith gone and the Republic being rebuilt, things in the Jedi Order would improve. He didn't need to be there. Well, I hope you enjoyed this What If. Have a great rest of your day, and may the Force be with you. Many years later, on a distant junk planet, a dark figure full of hate would be discovered by a group of travelers.